Hi guys, welcome to Crafty Lozza's Crafty Show. We're here with Josh Hampson.
Hampson, that's the one.
You're a brewer here?
Yeah, I'm one of the brewers here at FourPure. I've been here for a year and a half. Before that, I was up at the Brewdog Brewery in Scotland. Before that, I dabbled with a bit of breweries back home in Australia. Originally a photography student.
Oh, nice. You've got something in common with our cameraman.
Fell into brewing and I blinked and here I am.
Oh, fantastic. So Josh, first question is actually, what is your favourite beer at the moment that you brew?
Easy, the Deuce Box. It's like a double version of our Juice Box. So it's twice the amount of zest, twice the amount of hops, twice the amount of booze. But it drinks like a 5% beer, but it's like actually like a 9% beer, so it's very dangerous. But very, very tasty. Yeah.
Well, I think actually we're going to be tasting that shortly, so we'll have our own idea.
Good stuff.
If I really like it, I'll probably buy one of the t-shirts, so we'll see. So what makes your beer unique?
We can our beer. We're one of the first breweries, I think, to go cans and kegs, no bottles. We're an American-inspired brewery, so like we don't do cask beer. Everything's cold and carbonated. There's no hand pulls. But we take a lot of inspiration from all over the world. It's all about our adventures across the world, what we drink when we're in those parts, the styles that come into those parts, or it might not even be a style common to that area, just a beer that reminds us of being there, and replicating it from there and going further.
Cool. We have this thing where we look at beers, craft beers, on the cans or the bottles. They don't actually necessarily tell you what ingredients are used, like which hops, what barleys. Do you guys do that?
So all of our products has what's in it, and it's the name FourPure is because we use 4 pure ingredients: water, malt, hops, yeast. Nothing more, nothing less. It depends on your market. Like your average Joe drinker might not want to see, might be a bit bamboozled or intimidated by seeing like we have X, Y, Z kind of hops in this yeast strain, and we've mixed fermented with this and that. Keep it simple, but yeah, we don't hide what's on there either. There's nothing to hide. In terms of what we use English malts, American and noble hops. So we use like a lot of traditional German hops and a lot of American hops. Thames water. And then just a couple of different yeast strains. We're always experimenting with different ones, but we use a basic American ale yeast and a basic German lager yeast. So there's not much to hide, really, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I see on your website actually it does give you quite a lot of information about what is used.
It's there if you want it, but not necessarily. Like you don't have to push it off into people's faces. If we do a fancy kind of beer aimed at the more sort of avid craft fan that wants to know those specifics, we'll put it on there. It's not like a point of contention where we're like, oh no, don't put that on there. No, it's easy going.
Oh, okay, excellent. So the whole thing with like craft beer and from small microbreweries, they're doing things where they're selling by the can, which, to be honest, I really like the designs that you get. It's actually quite exciting, as long as kids don't think it's Coca-Cola. In pubs, so generally the price for a can there is the same amount as a pint. So we're kind of thinking, what do you think of that? Well, why is it that way?
I wouldn't be the best expert, as I make it, I don't sell it, but I think what it boils down to is the way we get taxed on it by the gov. So the higher volume you sell it in, the cheaper you can sell it for. The lower the volume you sell it in. Of
quantity.
Of quantity, you get taxed at different rates, and then so we sell it at a price. Then obviously they have to make a markup on that, and it's a very complicated chain. But we always try and make it as cheap as possible in whatever format it is, which is one of the advantages to buying direct from brewery as well.
I spoke to someone about beer that you buy in like supermarkets, push you guys for the cheapest they can buy it, for the cheapest they can sell it to the consumer.
The perks is with the supermarkets is they'll buy it en masse and in volume. but they will go for you for the cheapest price so they can sell it on at the cheapest price. And there's been some cases where the beer gets sold cheaper than the brewery can sell it for, because they can afford to make a loss on it and because they'll make profit elsewhere. It's the way supermarkets work. But it's I'm all for people getting the cheapest that they can get it for, but it's a business at the end of the day, and you do have to stay afloat too.
Yes.
But it's there's pros and cons to it. They can buy big mass amounts, and it's cool. You're shipping out 50% of your quantity of what you're producing out to these big guys, and then they can also turn around within a couple months and say no more, and there's 50% of what you're producing sat there in the warehouse going nowhere.
What do you think of basically about microbreweries being bought out by bigger brands?
I think in the early days you did see a lot of change within that microbrewery with the bigger breweries putting in restrictions and conditions, but I think the kickback off that was the drinkers would veer away from that brand, making the investment pointless. So I think it's not, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. If there's a guy out there who's toiled away for 10, 15, 20, whatever amount of years on starting up that business, and some big guy comes up to him and says, here's a big fat check full of money for the last decade, decade and a half, whatever of your life, put a value on that, and then you can afford to take a bit of time off and enjoy the fruits of your effort, or you can stay toiling away for the next couple of decades again. But more power to them. If you sell out, it's cool, man.
I suppose in the end it's saying, like, hey, we made it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the big guys know now not to play around with the product that these places are producing, because they'll lose customer traction.
They still want to feel like it's a small microbrewery.
Yeah, again, pros and cons to everything, but there's a lot of staunch drinkers out there that will be like, I'll never go near that place ever again.
Yeah.
It's still a beer at the end of the day. You're still going to enjoy what's coming out.
If it was well made, then
I've heard people be like, "Oh no, you can really taste the big brewing behind it."
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, I think for the consumer mainly, the fact you're worried that the taste will change. It won't be the same.
It's not a silly concern to have. It is a very, very valid point, and there is a moment where it's like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? But I think 9 times out of 10, most of them stick with it. And like I was saying, the big guys know not to interfere. And I know guys that work in big beer, and I know guys that work in small beer, and it seems to be a bit of a consensus.
Fantastic. And final question, where do you see this brewery in the future?
Still making awesome beer. Growing ever and bigger. And then the bigger we get, the more capabilities we have, the more awesome beer.
Are you looking to expand more here?
Yeah, we're in the middle of an expansion at the moment that should be completed by the end of the year. We've gone from 4 years old. We all kicked off within this one unit. By the end of this year, we'll be in 5 units across the park, a couple of warehousing, filtration and packaging, and then a double unit for brewhouse and cellaring.
Nice.
We're going to get the same size kit, but completely automated, slick, brand new, fresh kit, all the way from GA in Germany, which is going to basically improve the amount we can produce and the quality of what we produce, which means it frees up. We don't have to make all just the core range beers. We can then free up and come up with ideas like, let's make a beer that tastes like beef brisket. Why not? It'll be cool. Sky's the limit.
Okay, cool.
See how far we can go with it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Josh.
No worries. Thanks for having me.